If you spend any time at sailing, you are going to encounter tides. They affect the depth of water, the speed and direction of currents. If you need to revise why tides happen, you can check our previous tutorial. And if you want to know how to calculate the depth of water, there's a lesson here. Today we will be concentrating on how to work out the direction and speed of tides. Why is this important? Imagine you are sailing a small boat that is moving at 4 knots through the water. With no currents, you will travel 24 miles in 6 hours. If you have 4 knots of current with you, you will travel your 24 miles and 24 miles more. That's 48 miles altogether. If you have 4 knots of currents against you when you are sailing at 4 knots through the water, well, in 6 hours you will be exactly where you started from. Every hour you will travel 4 miles forward and the current will push you 4 miles back. There's another good reason to know which way the current is running at a given time. If the wind and tide are in opposite directions, you are in for a bumpy ride. This can't always be helped, but at least you will have fair warning of what to expect. So, how do you know which direction a current is going and how fast? You can often tell the direction of the current by looking at the water. But really you need to find out what's going on before you slip your lines. One way is to look at your chart and find the tidal diamonds. Here's a chart for Falmouth. Somewhere on the chart or in the pack it came in will be a table. You can read on the table the direction of the tide and speed for high water and each hour before and after. The spring rate is given first, then the nib rate. Here it's 0.9 knots and 0.4 knots. Don't forget to check which port your tidal diamonds table refers to. It's Plymouth here, and make adjustment for local time, such as British summertime. You can find the time for high water in the tide table, for example in your almanac. Another method is to look in a tidal stream atlas. This will give you a graphical representation of the direction of the tide at high water, and in the hours before and after. Use your plotter or protractor to measure the direction of the tide. The thicker the arrow, the stronger the current will be. There will also be numbers, like this. The first number gives you a speed for the tide at nips. Here it is, 0.5 knots. The second gives you a value for the tide at springs. It's 1.0 here. Don't forget, it's other way around for tidal diamond tables. But you won't be doing much sailing if you only ever go out on nips and springs. Thankfully, you can use a computation of rates table to calculate the speed of the tide on any day. From the tidal diamonds or tidal stream atlas, mark the nib rate using the scale across the bottom on the blue line. Then mark the spring rate using the scale across the top on the red line and join these together. Look at your tidal table to find the tidal range. This is a difference between high water and low water. Plot this on the scale on the left-hand side and connect it with the first line. Where the lines meet, draw another line up or down to the scale at the top or bottom. And you can see the rate of tide for that place on that day at that time. Here it is, 0.6 knots. You might think that all this is really only relevant if you are planning shorter coastal sails. But in fact, you can plan for ocean crossing by looking at the currents too. Here, a book such as Cornell Ocean Atlas will give you all the information you need, not only about currents but also prevailing winds, weather system and more for each month of the year all around the world. So, whether you are planning to stay close home or further afield, don't forget to look at where the currents want to take you before you leave. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If so, please consider supporting us using our Ko-fi and shop links below. See you next time. Bye!